In 3:28, he says, "Blessed be God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego." You know, and and he talks about God, and then he gives an edict about anybody who does speaks evil of him, right? In 4:1, King Nebuchadnezzar is writing. I think I could be wrong, but my interpretation of 4:1 is this is after he has come through the whole thing of losing his mind and come back, and so when he comes back, he tells his narrative, but he starts it out with King Nebuchadnezzar to all peoples, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth. Well, obviously his word probably didn't go out that far, but his indication was that he wanted everybody to get this message. It has seemed good to me to show the signs and wonders that the Most High God has done for me. You know, and then he goes on to praise God. So King Nebuchadnezzar wants everybody to know about the Most High God. Not that it dramatically changed things for him, but he's acknowledging what God has done. And so, at the end of his narrative of telling everything that happens, he says, "At the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted my eyes to heaven, and my reason returned to me, and I blessed the Most High and praised him and honored him who lives forever." You know, so he's got the concept of God. Would Nebuchadnezzar have had any idea about God if the Hebrew children hadn't gone through these trials? No, you know, even though it seems extreme, God had a plan from the very beginning. And the faithfulness of those Hebrew boys is what brought that plan, you know, what was used in that plan. You know, and it makes me say, Lord, what little things we go through, am I being faithful? Am I blessing your name? Am I standing up for what is right? Or am I griping and complaining and you know, am I being the representation of you that you want me to be? And I think that's the main thing that we pull from the first 6 chapters of Daniel. Yep. Is a faithful God who has a plan, and he can use his faithful servants even through hardship.
And you know, a lot of times, in me, it's like I know he has a plan, and we want to know it, but
ahead of time,
you know, I mean, we want to know the plan, you know, and it teaches us patience as well.
It does.
And his plan comes into effect whether we like it or not. You know, that's his plan, and he's always got that plan, and he's 12 steps ahead of us.
Thank goodness, huh?
Yeah.
You know, but it really, if we knew everything ahead of time, where would the faith be?
There would be.
There would be no faith.
There wouldn't be any reason for it.
No, and you know, and we would be spoiled children.
Well, the other thing we do know also is God is never changes.
No.
What he was in the days of Daniel, in the days of the Hebrews in bondage, is what he is today.
Absolutely.
I mean, and we today, I mean, if we honestly sit back and think, man, could I go through what Daniel went through? Can I go through what Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego go through, you know, and still be faithful? That's a scary question.
It is a scary question. Now we're all old enough to remember Y2K, right?
Yeah.
And remember how scared everybody was?
Yes.
The world was going to come to an end. Oh, you want me to use the microphone?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Turn it on.
It was on.
Okay.
Was it on?
Well, it is now. It's green.
Yeah, I turned it on, but
Well,
maybe, who knows? Maybe
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. I'll hold it like. No, I'm not going to hold it. It's just going to have to reach. Okay. So, but I remember Y2K because, you know, we're not going to have any heat, and we're not going to have, you know, all these things people were going through, and about a week before Y2K.
Hey.
Okay, just turned itself off, Angie. Nobody touched it. It has a problem. This is Judy too. Okay. All right. So, but anyway, we had a women's ministry meeting, and we had a lot of young mothers. They were scared to death. What's going to happen to my children? And they were really, really, really scared. Lord used this story of the Hebrew boys, you know, and so they had asked me to give the devotion, and so I talked about the Hebrew boys. Nothing to do with me, you know. It just that's what the Lord had put on my heart to share, and I said, now remember when they came out, they went through a fiery furnace. There was no smell of smoke.
That's right.
There was no residual terror. There was no anything. And so, you know, and that was the message, not from me, but from God, that He wanted those women to have. Whatever happened with Y2K, their children were not going to have any effects that carried on. And that, because that was their concern. Our children, not them, our children. You know, and so whatever we're facing, because Y2K was actually funny, but,
Yeah.
you know, but kind of like that old, I mean, it was before my time, but when that radio show said the aliens had come or something, you know, it's kind of in that same ballpark. But we're facing new times and have new concerns for our children because we see the world changing. We see the morality of our country changing. Yes.
It's easy to see God's long-term plan for us. It's the daily ones that confuse us.
That's true. That's true. But if his long-term plan is good, is he going to be with you in the daily?
Yeah.
Sure he is, but we get confused because we have our own desires today that we still know is long-term plan.
Yes. Well, we need to be like these Hebrew boys. Every time there's a trial, they stood up. And their trials were big. They were major trials, and they stood up, and God was always faithful. And that's so. Even though we're going through things, and we see things on the horizons, and we have concerns I have more concerns for my kids and grandkids now than I ever did with Y2K. You know, the same God is going to be faithful. The same God is going to carry us through. The same God is going to help us come through without the smell of smoke. No residual effect, you know. And so these Bible stories, now we all know them because, you know, our parents drilled them into us. I don't know how much drilling is happening today. I hope a lot of drilling. But, you know, God is even able to take the smallest amount that we share and help those kids remember it.
Sure.
And so that's what encourages me, because, like, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm getting ready to leave. I'm like, did I do enough? Did I do enough? Well, it's not up to me. What I've done, I've done. It's up to God to bring it to their, you know, I can't stay with them and be there in their ear, and I'm human, I fail. But God never fails. So anyway, now I've completely lost. But we see God working in all of these things, and God getting the glory even from King Nebuchadnezzar. All right, so now we get to after the third chapter of Daniel. We really don't hear any more about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They're no longer in the forefront. They're in the background. I'm sure they're still there honoring God, serving God in whatever place. But Daniel has been prevalent the whole time in high position. You know, what was Daniel's character, his attitude during all this time?
It's positive.
It was positive. Was he was faithful to God? Was he big-headed?
No.
Could he have been big-headed?
Sure.
Was he what?
Could he have been like egotistic?
No.
You know, all these major things were happening to him. He was being elevated and elevated and elevated and elevated. But still, through all of those things,
He remained humble.
he remained humble. He remained humble. How do we see that? Well, the time after one of the dreams when King Nebuchadnezzar said, "You're going to be the top guy," and he says, "Well, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they're coming too."
Yeah.
Right? He didn't just, it wasn't all about him. It was like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You know, and a lot of us would be saying, "Well, good for me," you know. But he remained humble, and I think that's why God could use him.
Well, you even see Belshazzar, you know, promoted him
Yes.
to at least the third, you know.
Yeah, Yeah, to the
to
top
the third
three.
highest, you know, and he says, no, you can give that to somebody else, but it was still given to him.
Right.
And, you know, I think last week we kind of made the statement that that was the last Babylonian thing that happened, that you see that happened, how God really blessed Israel because of Daniel's faithfulness.
Absolutely. Now, do you think we're going into a new kingdom? The Medes and the Persians have come in.
Yeah.
Do you think that they have heard what was going on in Babylon with Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego?
Sure. Probably.
Stories travel, don't they? Stories travel, especially like unbelievable, awesome ones. I mean, I can't give you perfect all the details, but I can remember hearing stories about things that God did in Africa, you know, and you know, raising somebody from the dead in Africa and things like that. When I was younger, and here we were in America, and I heard all about it, you know, so I think that when Darius comes in as the new king or the head of Babylon, that it's not new to him that God has been working in Babylon. Now, what Darius is, it says Darius comes in. The Darius that comes in for the Medes and the Persians is not the Darius in Ezra. It's not the same man. The book indicated, and I didn't do any research because that's, I mean, on that portion, because that's a little bit, I don't know how to do some of that research. You know, where do you find out? But they said that there is no, other than the biblical account about Darius, there's no evidence of Darius. It's listed as Cyrus, Cyrus took over Babylon. The prevalent thinking is that Cyrus is the Persian kingdom is humongous. It just is so far reaching, and James would have a map, but I couldn't even know where to find his maps right now.
The
You know?
Persian kingdom was all of Iran,
Yeah.
which Babylon is not in Iran.
Iraq.
You know, it's in Iraq.
Mhm.
You got to understand that. So kind of the area that we see today, you know, you go from all of Iran, all of Turkey, you know, and it went off, even took in a lot of what we know as Greece today, and a lot of what the Mesopotamian area, all the way down through Israel, all the way over into Africa, which was what took in Egypt, and not just Egypt, but also a couple other countries there in northern Africa.
So it is a huge,
It was
huge
massive.
territory. So the thought is Cyrus is king. He's ruler over the entire area. But I mean, especially back then. Now we can have, you know, the president sitting in Washington, and he can reach out to any governor at any moment. But you know that it wasn't the system then. So he would put people over regions, you know, and some of them he made king. You know, like in the Bible times with King Herod. King Herod was under Roman rule. He was not, you know, he had somebody over him. They had placed him in Judea, and they called him king. He earned the position of king, but he still answered to the Roman rule. And so we kind of think it's the same thing, well, with Darius and Cyrus. Cyrus is overall, you know, he's going to get the credit for everything because he is overall, and that Darius was just the local
A governor.
governor.
In a sense,
Yeah.
a type of a governor.
So, you know, so even though there's no other indication, but he's not the Darius mentioned in Ezra. But why I brought that up is, and I'm a little early in the lesson, but that's okay. I think that Cyrus had heard the stories, because Cyrus is the one who said, you know, Israel's to be, the temple's to be rebuilt. Because the stories of the Most High God, it's my opinion, had traveled, because this is the Cyrus that made the edict. Daniel is in the lion's den about, okay, I have it down somewhere. This is the problem giving you a ballpark, cause I can't find it right now, I'll get to it eventually, 539 BC,
Yeah.
538 BC, which you think, oh, this is before, no, BC 38 is after 39, because it goes, your
They were
number
counting
just,
down.
Goes down
You're
to
counting down,
BTG.
right.
They were counting down to 0.
Right. So 38 would have been after 39, and it was in the year 38 that Cyrus said, "This is my edict. That temple's to be rebuilt." You know, so I think all of this is as a result of, this is my thinking, but is a result of those faithful Hebrew children in Babylon, or at least they played a part in it. Now, who knows what else God did with Cyrus? I mean, it could be all kinds of things. People say there was some connection with Queen Esther. I don't know. But I feel like that the role that these Hebrew boys played, especially Daniel, the impact was God's people get to go home. You know, the temple gets to be rebuilt. Jerusalem gets to be rebuilt because of the faithfulness of these boys. Would that have happened if they hadn't gone through those major trials? If it hadn't been something major enough to catch attention, maybe it would have happened, but maybe not. You know, I think that the impact of Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego carried, and it carries down to us as well today. Okay, now I'll try to get back on the lesson. I am sorry that I digressed. Okay, all right, so, in chapter 6, let's just read it.
Okay.
Okay, somebody want to start reading? Anyway, in chapter 6, just read.
It pleased Darius to appoint 120 satraps to rule through, is that what that is?
Yeah, satraps, whatever.
To rule throughout the kingdom with 3 administrators over them, one of whom was Daniel. The satraps were made comfortable, no, they were not made comfortable, they were made accountable to them so that the king might not suffer loss. Now Daniel so distinguished himself among administrators and satraps by his exceptional qualities that the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. At this, the administrators and the satraps tried to find ground for charges against Daniel in his conduct of government affairs, but they were unable to do so. They could find no corruption in him because he was trustworthy and neither corrupt nor negligent. Finally, these men said, "We will never find any basis for charges against this man, Daniel, unless it has something to do with the law of his God." I
Okay,
can't
stop
read
there.
anymore.
Okay, stop right there. It's okay. Yes,
It's a good
yeah,
thing.
that's a good place to stop.
Yeah.
All right. So Daniel is up in the top 3.
Mhm.
Darius has seen his worth. He's seen what he's capable of, and he's talking about, I'm going to make him number 1. The others are going to answer to him, and so the inevitable happens, right? You got 3 pitted against each other, and what's going to happen? There's going to be conflict, jealousy. You know, he is not even one of our people. And he's going to be above everybody. You know, I don't know
Yeah.
what they were saying, but there was immediate conflict. The 2 did not want to be submitted under Daniel, and they immediately began looking for a way to start some kind of campaign against them, and they could find what?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
What is that satraps or whatever that, what does that mean?
I'll tell you after church when I can look it up on my phone.
Okay.
But that was the leadership. They were people in leadership. I don't know whether they were mayors or
Okay.
judges. I don't know what they were, but they
Okay.
were people of leadership.
Okay.
I don't know all about Babylon. Persia's ruling class. But the fact that nothing is found on Daniel is a true testament to what God is doing. What about me?
Yeah.
If people look for dirt on me, can they find it? Can they remember sometime I lost my temper? Can they remember sometime, that I looked at a cross? Or people can find things on you.
Yeah, they look for things.
They look for things. They're watching us. People
Yes.
are watching us. They want to see, why do they do that?
Yeah. Seems like it's worse with the Assembly of God people
I think it's any people of God.
Yes.
Well, and that's sad because I think that it's kind of one of them deals that we do that to look at other people's faults to justify ours or to make ours look better than what they, and that's sad.
It is sad, it is true. Do you think there is an instigator behind that?
Well, yeah.
Surely.
Oh, yeah, that's,
You know,
that's where it comes
We
from.
look at it as a person-to-person problem. What is their problem? But it is never a person-to-person problem.
That's right.
Who is our enemy?
Satan.
Satan. We wrestle not against flesh and blood,
That's
right?
right.
That's not, people aren't our problem. Satan just uses people and can direct people and poke people. And he can poke us.
Yes.
But it's how do we respond? Obviously, Daniel, he knew the conflict was going on. He was an astute man. He had to know it was going on. But was it bothering him? First of all, he didn't care whether he was elevated or not.
Yep.
That position never seemed to matter to him. I mean, it never seemed to. I don't know. I wasn't there, but it doesn't come through in the narrative. That position was important to him. And neither did he respond in like kind to the people that were trying to cause him trouble. He went about. Well, I guess I'm stepping in a little bit early. Because you stopped at verse 6. So the governors and the satraps thronged before the king and said thus to him, King Darius, live forever. Oh, don't you like this buttering up thing here? All the governors of the kingdom, the administrators, the satraps, the counselors, and advisors have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whoever petitions any god or man for 30 days except you, O king, shall be cast into the den of of lions, not living, of lions. Okay, how true is this statement? All the satraps, all the governors, all the administrators, there's no truth in this statement whatsoever. King Darius should have seen through this statement. He did not see through this statement. Their whole goal is to cause problems for Daniel. They can find nothing wrong in his character. They can find nothing at all except for his service to God, right? And so now they're coming and they're attacking that very thing, and poor Darius, he just follows right along. Live forever. They start buttering him up from the very start. And I remember teaching through my mother. She would say, when the word happens all or everyone, stop listening.
Yeah.
There's never anybody where everybody's in agreement, where everyone is, and my mother can cut through, and sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't remember, but she'd say, watch out for those words, because that's a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
There's something going on that shouldn't be going on, or that you want something that you shouldn't want, and you're trying to make an excuse or whatever. Darius falls for it. Okay, and so now, king, establish the decree and sign the writing so that it cannot be changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which does not alter. I mean, we're not even, we want the sign, so it cannot be changed, right? And Darius, therefore King Darius signed the written decree. You're like, what were you thinking, Darius? But, we all like to be buttered up, don't we? And he fell right for it. Now, Daniel immediately went into a tizzy.
No.
Oh, no tizzy. He never panic. He never this is the end.
Never thought the worst.
No.
What right
Now,
on in there?
yeah, didn't bother him at all. Now, when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went home, and in his upper room, with his windows open towards Jerusalem, he knelt down on his knees 3 times that day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as was his custom since early days. Daniel hears the decree. He knows the end result. He just continues as normal.
It didn't change.
Nothing changed. Just continues as normal. I mean, he could have said, I'll just close the windows this time.
Yeah.
No. He opens the windows for everybody to is not gonna change no matter what people are doing.
Amen.
He's gonna be there, he's gonna be a witness for the Most High God, he's gonna rest in the peace of God, you know, all of that, no matter what's going on around him. Why did God put this in the Bible?
For us to learn.
For us.
To encourage
For me.
us,
For me.
To show us how faithful God is.
To show us how faithful God is, and how am I to respond in times of unrest, times of turmoil, times of unease. I'm to continue as usual. If my habits are,
Yeah.
good. And Daniel just kept on. He kept praying. Nothing fazed him whatsoever. And of course we know what happens. So then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God. You know they were laying in wait. They were all underneath his window just waiting to see
They
what
knew
was
he
happening.
would do it.
Yeah, they knew it because he was faithful. Faithful in all he did. This was a sure bet. The biggest bet in the whole thing was getting Darius to go along with it. At which Darius fell right into that one. And so these men assembled and they went before the king and spoke concerning the king's decree. I can just see them rushing to the palace
Oh,
and
yeah.
laughing and saying, oh, we got him, we're going to be the top now, not him. Yeah. I mean, just, they acted like children, didn't they? Sometimes we do too. Okay. And so they went before the king and spoke concerning the king's decree. Have you not signed a decree that every man who petitions any god or man within 30 days except you, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? They didn't come right tattle. It was like, bring it back to the king. Didn't you? Almost like, wasn't this your idea?
Yeah. For sure.
It was, I mean, don't we act like children? They acted like children, we act like children. Let's just be upfront and, admit things. The king answered and said, that the thing is true according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which does not alter. And so there was we find this even in Esther, when the king makes a decree, it cannot be changed. And so it's the same thing here, can't be changed. I think I turned too many pages here. Right. So they answered and said before the king, that Daniel, I just love this childishness. That Daniel, who is one of the captives from Judah, does not show due regard for you. This is so blatant. It's not about them at all. It's about that Daniel and you. I mean, this is so human nature, such an obvious attack of the enemy. And I think as we can learn from these things as well, for us to be aware, to be discerning when people come to us with things. But anyway, I digress. This is why I'm not a pastor. I wasn't called, number one. Okay.
You good job.
Okay. So not show regard for you, O king, or the decree that you have signed, but makes his petition 3 times a day, putting all the blame on the king. And the king, when he heard these words, was greatly displeased with himself, not with them, with himself. He realizes he has been played royally. He's been played. And he realizes it, and he says, upset with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. So, who is this bothering? Is it bothering Daniel?
No.
Daniel's at ease in his chamber praying. He's at ease, like, Lord, whatever is you want, you want. Whatever I'm going through, you're going to be there.
Right.
It's Darius who is worried, not Daniel. Darius is confident. Daniel is confident in God. Darius is doing everything in his power, looking through all the books, trying to find any loophole. Because he realizes that he created this mess, right? And he's trying to find a way out of it.
You know, the thing about it is, you go back, even go into the New Testament, look at Paul. Paul had the same attitude as Daniel did. You know, Daniel realized that if he would die, he knew where he was headed.
That's right.
He knew his future. As we said, Lee said, you know, we know our future. It's just dealing with what we're dealing, you know, the moments.
Absolutely.
And you know, Daniel knew where his future lied. He knew that he was going to heaven. He knew that, you know.
And he knew God was going to use it.
Yeah.
Whatever way God chose to
Yeah.
do, God was going to use it for his glory. I told you Wednesday that Paul's my favorite,
Yeah.
my Old Testament favorite.
Daniel.
Daniel. You know, I think in heaven they're buds.
Yeah.
Daniel and Paul.
I mean, if you have buds in heaven, I don't know. But anyway, all right. So Daniel's chill, but the king is so upset. Okay, then these men approached the king and said to the king, "Now know, O king, that it is the law of the Medes and Persians that no decree or statute which a king established may be changed." These guys are getting more obnoxious by the minute. So the king gave the command, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. But the king spoke, saying to Daniel, and I love this. Here's the testimony out of the heathen king.
Oh yeah.
But he's heard enough, he's seen enough, and he says, "Your God, whom you serve continually." What a testament to Daniel's life. Whom you serve continually, he will deliver you.
Amen.
The pagan king, your God, he will deliver you. I can't deliver you. He will. And it's not, he can't, he might deliver you. I hope he delivers you. He will deliver you. I think at that moment he was speaking in faith that he didn't even know he had, because he still paced the floor for the rest of the night, I think. Then the stone was brought and laid on the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring and with the signets of his lords, that the purpose concerning Daniel might not be changed. Now the king went to his palace and spent the night fasting, and no musicians were brought before him. I think he was fasting and pacing, but I don't know if he was pacing or not. But he spent the night worrying over Daniel and what was going on in that lion's den. And what do you think Daniel was doing?
Eating a lion's peanuts or something.
I think he was sleeping.
Yeah, probably.
I think Daniel was sleeping, but I could be wrong. When I get there, I'm going to ask him, "Were you sleeping in that lion's den?"
Maybe brushing their hair or something.
I doubt that. 'Cause I think
I
lions
bet
are
he
kind
was
of
using
smelly.
that lion as a pillow.
And a warm blanket.
Maybe he had no sense of smell and he didn't care. I would be like, "You stink, go over there."
Yeah.
But, okay. And his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste to the den of the lions. And he came to the den and he cried out with a lamenting voice to Daniel. Did he expect Daniel to hear him? Why would you cry out if you don't expect Daniel to hear you?
What?
Yeah. He said, "Daniel, servant of the living God." What a testimony.
Yeah.
This pagan king, you are the servant of the living God. I recognize he's living. All these other things out here are not living. Servant of the living God. Has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to deliver you from the lions? You know, there was an element of faith there, and there was also an element of trepidation. You know, but if he was totally had no faith at all, he wouldn't be hollering out to him. So then Daniel said to the king, "O king, live forever." I don't know why you say this. They did say that all the time. "My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths so that they have not hurt me, because I was found innocent before him." I don't care what people, I mean, I shouldn't say that so bluntly, because I probably do care. But what does it matter what people say about me?
Nothing.
What does it matter if they lie about me?
Doesn't.
What does it matter if they try to interpret what I do and my motives behind it? It doesn't matter.
No, you don't answer to them. Answer to God.
Am I innocent before God?
Yes.
Do we worry about the things anyway, but that doesn't matter. What is God saying about me? What is my life saying to God? Right? That's what I should be concerned about. All right? Not what people say. And okay, now I've lost my place. I was found innocent before him, and also a king. I have done no wrong before you. Now the king was exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no injury whatever was found on him, because he believed in his God. Without faith it is impossible to please God, right? Would the picture have been completely different if Daniel hadn't relied on God?
Yeah.
The picture could have been completely different, right? Without faith it's impossible to please God, right? And without the assurance that God is working for our good, that all things work together for good, sometimes we can be overwhelmed by situations. But we need to remember, like Daniel, all things work together for our good. That God is with us no matter what is happening, and stop looking at the immediate picture and look at, and put our eyes on God. Keep our eyes on God. That's how we're going to go through difficult times. When we take our eyes off of what's happening around us and put our eyes on what God is doing. Okay, now we're going to jump down to verse 26. I make a decree that in every dominion, now this is Darius, I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom, men must tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. Oh my word. Wouldn't you love to have our president get up and say that? I make a decree that everybody must tremble before the name of God. I mean, not that we would listen to him, but, because we're that far off the path now. But how awesome is that? This man who ruled so many people. For he is the living God and steadfast forever. His kingdom is the one which shall not be destroyed. And remember, Darius is the under king here. He's not Cyrus. And but what is he saying? His dominion shall endure forever. He's the one whose kingdom shall not be destroyed. He delivers and rescues. He works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth, who has delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Cyrus, the king of the Persian. Right? So when we are yielded to God and respond in the way that God desires us to respond, the effect is long-reaching. Not just to the ones around us immediately, but it is long-reaching. Because God is able to take those things and make them long-reaching. I can. I can tout whatever I want. It can go no farther than the room. But God is able to work all things for his purpose and change lives of people we have never even seen. Not necessarily because of us, but because of people, we may not even play a role in the long narrative, but of people talking about God and witnessing for God. And my prayer is that we are faithful and consistent, and that we're one of